Ladies and gentlemen, you hear him counting down on the right-hand side here. It is game one of U.S. Quidditch Cup 11. And to my left-hand side, it's the man himself, Harry Clark. He's obviously out of breath because he's been running all over the pitch preparing for eighth man. The LA Gambits are taking on the Bosnyan Bearsharks, two of the best teams that Quidditch has to offer in the community division. The community bracket this season is going to be the community championship this year is going to be determined by a pool play battle, and I think we just saw something that's going to be happening quite often, Harry. A hoop just went down via the wind that's going down here, but a bracket turned into a pool. So teams of community brackets will be playing 4 games today. They'll play their 5th one on Sunday morning, and then they will play, well, a single elimination tournament to determine who the real champion of U.S. Quidditch is. Yeah, and we're starting off strong. If you're new to Quidditch, if you don't know either of these two teams, this is one of the games to watch of the day. Yes. This is 2 elite level teams, both of which projected to make some pretty deep runs in this tournament. No doubt about that. The LA Gambits, a team that's always in the running. They're out of the West region. They're always in the running for the championship of the West. They lost to their rivals of LA. The LA Gambits, of course, out of Los Angeles. Another team, crosstown rivals, the Lost Boys, who run by the mantra of never grow up. Yeah, and if you're looking for some players to watch, this game is going to be about there's one star player on the Gambits, and he is a superstar of Quidditch, and this is my man, Tony Rodriguez. T-Rod. He is one of the best Quidditch players in this game. And his opponent on the other keeper side, Tyler Trudeau, is no joke either. And it looks like Bosnyan is making a run. There looked like there may have been a attempted slide up front, but they're going to call no foul on that one, as the Bosnyan Bearsharks' fastest chaser is going to make his way backwards towards the hoops, tag back in. As you see, Tony Rodriguez taking his time getting up the pitch over here. He's got a beater in front of him, number 3. That's Steve DiCarlo, the team captain of the LA Gambits up front. A beater exchange miss and a face beat up front, and David Fox, formerly of Team USA, is up front and on the attack. The Bosnyan Bearsharks look to get their first score out of the way. A throw behind the hoops, and it looks like Trudeau is going to come up with the first goal of U.S. Quidditch Cup 11. As now on the attack, Tony Rodriguez gets a stiff arm up, gets over the top. Trudeau comes up with a block, tips that one backwards, and it looks like it's going to be scooped up by the Gambits behind the hoops. Now back up top. Oh, perfectly thrown pass. And with his back turn, Tony Rodriguez comes up with a catch against David Fox, a guy, one of the rare point chasers in Quidditch that matches up with Tony Rodriguez height-wise. A throw behind the hoops and a quick goal. As you saw the wind take the ball there for a second, and it is 10-10 here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so while Gambits have the best quaffle player on this pitch in Tony Rodriguez, the duo of Trudeau and Fox is a formidable front line. And Harry Clark, we got a problem. The master has entered the field of play. Number 5 for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, ready to go to work. Beater for the Bosnyan Bearsharks up front. On the attack, over on the left-hand side, behind the hoops. A shot between the mid-hoop is going to be called no good. And now a hustle for the ball. Tony Rodriguez is going to have that ball pop right back to him. And by the way, our officiating staff here today, provided by the Maryland Terrapins. They won their region champions yet again. Maryland, one of the hot college teams, as they consistently are, one of the most well-run programs in all of college Quidditch. Bludger control lies with the Gambits, by the way. Yeah, so this is a rarity for the Gambits. I did not expect them to have bludger control, but this is partly because of their brand new pickup. That's 20-10 here. Sarah Nealon gets a nice catch up front on the beater exchange, and now it allows Tony Rodriguez to take that clean shot up top, and it finishes very well for the LA Gambits. They take a 1-goal lead. Tyler Ortiz, by the way, out there doing a pretty good job, number 17 for the LA Gambits. And we got keeper ball coming. Tyler Trudeau looks like he's about to sub out here. Yeah. No, he's just going to hand the ball off. So one of the new pickups for the Gambits is Sarah Nealon. The longest tenured Quidditch player in U.S. Quidditch. Maybe 8th World Cup, if I had to guess. But Mario Nasta defines a field when he's on the pitch. And let's see what he can do. He's taking his time out there. He's not really worried about the chasers. He's worried about the opposing beaters because LA Gambits have bludger control, which means they have 2 of the 3 bludgers up front. A last-second pass defended by the beaters of the Bosnyan Bearsharks is going to allow one of their chasers to scoop it up, and they'll be back up top. Trudeau's going to have it on the far side of the perimeter. The fans in attendance here watching this game with bated anticipation as we got another we got a reset, a clean reset from the Bosnyan Bearsharks up front. A chaser trying to come up. That looks like it was Ortiz on that. Trudeau swings the arm over. T-Rod has him held up for a second, and on a nice posterization on the small hoop over there, it is now 20-all here between the LA Gambits and the Bosnyan Bearsharks.
And importantly, for the first time this game, the Bosnyan Bearsharks have bludger control, something they do not intend to lose with this two-male setup they have.
Tony Rodriguez with his famous tuck and stiff arm up front. We'll see how Bosnyan counters that, as now we got a drive and a kick behind the hoops, a throw over the top of it, a nice one-handed catch, and an attempt, and a beat off there. So now they're going to see, hold on a second, we got a first penalty of the game. One of the hoops is down, and it is broken, so they're going to have to get a new coupling, which is one of the most common parts of a hoop to break. It's what creates that merger between the base and the hoops.
So when you think of the Gambits, many people, the downside, people will call it the Tony show. But this game, I've been impressed with the Gambits chasing. I think Tony didn't score either. I think Tony scored one of their goals, but they've had a lot of good passing off the hoops, and this comes off the back of their pickup of the UCLA starting line.
And Grant, you speak of that UCLA starting line, Grant Rose is out there. He's the secondary keeper for the LA Gambits. He's number 4, and he's actually playing chaser right now, which means that the Gambits have the size advantage up front. Sarah Nealon working against Masta. She gets beat. She's going backwards, and now Namasta's working on that second beater up front to create a path. And now an attack and a slip on the tackle behind the hoops on the left-hand side. The wind takes it. That'll be first of many times here today. And Tony Rodriguez comes up with that recovery of the ball and a clean defensive stop. So far in this game, I believe it is 20-all between the LA Gambits and the Bosnyan Bearsharks. As now Tony Rodriguez coming across mid-pitch, a beat up front to protect the one bludger that they have. You see him putting that fist up. That gives immunity to the beater. And now all 3 bludgers are down. One is going to be picked up. Tony Rodriguez slips in behind the hoops. Grant Rose picks it up. He's trying to be tackled by Trudeau. Trudeau has his arm for a second. He throws it back up top, and Harry Clark is going to leave here for a second. Jenna Bolweg going to join us. Jenna Bolweg of the Texas State Bearcats. Sorry. The Bobcats.
Already have a goal for Bosnia.
Looks like that was Tyler Trudeau came up with that score over there, and it's this one's been a little bit of back and forth, but that turnover behind the hoops by Grant Rose has really affected. That really dismantled that entire offensive set for the LA Gambits. As they've got, looks like they're going to send in a couple of new beaters up front. Let's see if that works. Namaste with a nice block of the beat up front with his patented drop it like it's hot. Kidding. That's not what it's called. But he definitely drops down either to one knee or completely in cutting his surface area almost in half. And now Trudeau's going to force a turnover, gets it on top to Lee, and now a score behind the hoops and beautiful angles.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
And we got a whistle here. And they're going to try and say Trudeau was beat way back here, which would negate that goal. That would be way late if it was the case. We'll see.
Pretty late call, but hope goal stands.
That goal is good. I think that makes the score 40-20 for the LA Gambits, being down by 2 to the Bosnyan Bearsharks. Back-to-back turnovers, and the Bearsharks burn them. Alyssa Burton into the game.
Yeah, it's Tony. Who else we got?
Tony Rodriguez, Alyssa Burton out there.
Previously of Team USA.
And actually just got a strip on one of the Bearsharks. That was asking the master, came up with it, and now both beaters have been occupied. Tony Rodriguez is down via a tackle. And hold on a second. Rodriguez is trying to get back contact. Yeah, they're going to get it. Bosnyan Bearsharks are going to send one to the box, which means he'll be in there for a minute or until the LA Gambits score, which with a chaser down might be here in a second. The master's got the bludger right next to Tony Rodriguez's calf, and he's only got one pass option right behind him, so this could be an easy defensive set for the LA Gambits. And now a slip of the catch and a kick behind the hoops. Too bad nobody's over there, and it might be hard boundary.
There is a female chaser over there, but she was nowhere near where that ball landed.
And there was a bludger behind it as well. That was an interesting turn of events for the Bosnyan Bearsharks up front. Not only a tackle that was deemed illegal for back contact, but coming up with a defensive stop. That's interesting in and of itself, as we got Lee in the box right here. That's Michael Lee, pronounced Steve according to our sheet here, but his name is Michael Lee. He is the one who came up with that illegal tackle of Tony Rodriguez. And now a shot behind. Oh, looks like we got an attempt at a shot behind the hoops right here. That's number 31, Bo's coming up for it. That's going to be Teddy Costa, the man himself, formerly of Team USA. Now Trudeau's going to get a beat up on the far left-hand side, be tracked backwards, and a nice shake from Tyler Trudeau on the right-hand side. He's going to take his time, and the Bearsharks with the lead can, wait this one out. With the lead and bludgeon control, can wait for Teddy Costa to get back into the game.
It's got a beautiful beating pair here of Mario Nasta and Leanne Dillman, too. They seem to work together really well. They are definitely working to minimize that defensive threat. Oh.
Beater exchange up front. Michael Lee has the quaffle, kicks it over to Costa. He was in the wrong spot, and now a beater's running down Costa. He's got it over to Lee. Lee's on the attack. He's got Trudeau to his left-hand side. He takes too long to make the pass, and not only that, he floats it backwards. So Bosnyan is going to take their time again as they're going to basically get a third opportunity. The LA Gambits not able to force anything defensively in terms of a turnover. The Bosnyan Bearsharks in this game, though, forcing 2 turnovers already. Tyler Trudeau with excellent control so far, along with the Bearsharks. Master comes up with a beat up top on another chaser on the far right-hand side. A beat on Tony Rodriguez, who is immune inside the keeper zone for the LA Gambits. Michael Lee gets it over to the left-hand side. Trudeau spins away from a tackle, gets it off the perimeter. Looks like he's coming in for the score. Finally comes off it on the short hoop. And as a matter of fact, I believe all 5 goals for the Bosnyan Bearsharks have come off the short hoop. Tony Rodriguez with a nice stiff arm, but it looks like he got beat in the back. No, he's on the run over the middle. Trudeau tries to slip down in front of him. He actually trips him up, and he's going to finish up front. Tony Rodriguez pumping up, flexing that arm because the LA Gambits just plowed right through the Bosnyan Bearsharks, and that explains why they're so slow on offense. They're trying to make sure not only do they get rest for a lot of their players, but they don't let the Gambits get out in transition to burn them.
Yeah, and this, another player to note from this Bosnian core is Leanne Dillman. One of the top female beaters in this game.
Yeah, Jenna just mentioned her when she was talking about this beater pair up top, and I actually had the great opportunity to have Leanne Dillman on my team for the Houston Cosmos during Breakfast Taco, an official tournament that allows you to pretty much mix and match any kind of player, and it looks like Grant Rose has got a tackle on Trudeau. Not going to be called illegal. Michael Lee up top, Grant Rose of UCLA, but as I was saying, Leanne Dillman, one of the most amazing sights I've ever seen. She was able to take the UT roster when we were playing against them, a team that we would normally have no shot against, essentially, and she corralled an entire group of chasers inside the keeper zone with her amazing beating. Near unstoppable. Tyler Trudeau up front misses the beat on front, and Grant Rose takes the contact, but it's not going to stop Trudeau from scoring. Hold on, we might have a late call on the beat here.
And this is a key part of this Bosnian offense. Their beaters can create these lanes, and there are almost...
hold on a second. We don't have... The goal is going to be good, so the LA Gambits are going to get the ball back. They'll be down by 3, and now they'll be back in transition, as you were saying here.
There's almost no one in Quidditch that can stop Tyler Trudeau when he is running down this field.
The Master just get up. Sorry, no, that was an excellent beat up front, and looks like the Gambits have cleared out all the bludgers. Now they just got to get away from Michael Lee, Tyler Trudeau, as they know that they need to key in on Tony Rodriguez. The shot is no good. David Fox comes up with that catch. David Fox, formerly of Emerson College back in the day.
Yeah, same thing with Tyler Trudeau.
Emerson producing some very talented players, as they had a great opportunity back in the day to be one of the most prominent college programs. And as a matter of fact, they are in attendance here today in the college ranks.
Actually, I think the college that is most represented is Emerson on Bosnia.
Right. And you'll see that with the LA Gambits, a lot of UCLA players and a lot of Cal players for them. A nice block by Grant Rose, and now in transition, he's running it down. Now they're trying to get a blood road out. Leanne Dillman trying to get a quick exchange over to Master, and it's not going to be in time. The short hoop is going to be the recipient of that Grant Rose score. He did get beat on the way back. Great effort on his part to not only read where the beaters were, but run away to make that throw as difficult as possible across the pitch with traffic between him and the bludgeon.
I'm a big proponent of putting your backup keeper on the line with your keeper, and that defensive capability you get, able to shot block that well, that is what you get when you put 2 keepers on the field at the same time.
Yes, and like you said, when you got Grant Rose, he's got that lateral movement to stop a lot of these top-tier keepers that are coming up on offense, and he's also got the size to take them down. David Fox flexed out on the left-hand side. Masters over there. Fox is not going to get the ball from Lee. Now he'll wait until he's not under the coverage of one of the bludgers. Master on the left-hand side of him to clear out that side, and now a force from the LA Gambits beater, and it looks like they're going to get a beat up front as well, and they're going to beat Master. No, they're going to miss on his beat. A throw on the female chaser for the LA Gambits, and now the quaffle is recovered by the Bosnyan Bearsharks. As a matter of fact, they're about to turn this one on its head. A goal from Fox as he runs through 2 LA Gambits to get that one.
Yeah, and that's a Bosnian beaters clear out their opponents and just let the chasers do their work.
The LA Gambits ranked 7th in the USQ rankings overall. They went 23-5 this season. Amazing results that they've seen. Heroes versus Villains, their co-hosted tournament without a beat up top off the head of number 2 for the LA Gambits. That's Michael Richardson who took that beat to the head. And now it looks like Bosnyan is about to recover and respond immediately. Bosnyan running away with this one. There's a whistle being blown. Hold on, there may have been a call. But I believe the score currently sits at 70-40. 70-40, I believe, is our score as we speak here. As we were talking about the LA Gambits with the score, looks like there's going to be a bludger turnover here. That's interesting. Zachary Chu, the beater for the LA Gambit's going to have to give his to Master over there as he ran for a ball off pitch. I believe that's what the call was. Well, Bosnyan now has bludger control exchange. It looks like it's 80-40, making it 70-40. Tony Rodriguez driving in. Oh, great vision on his part. He was under a tackle from David Fox, turned around, and was able to take that shot at the short hoop with traffic in front of him, and that's what you talk about, the star power of the LA Gambits. They're from Los Angeles, so they're used to stars. Tony Rodriguez being one of those guys.
Yeah, and this is a...
It's 80-40, by the way, on the score, just confirmed.
80-40.
80-40, Bosnyan leading.
Yes, okay. Yeah, and it looks like we have a snitch maybe coming on to Christian Barnes, Northeast Regional Director.
Yes, he is, and not only when he's a snitch, he's technically a referee when the game comes when it all comes down to it. As the ball is going to be near the hard boundary and a beat off the hard boundary, Zachary True's going to run that one down, and LA Gambits is going to get another defensive stop. Can they capitalize on it as we are in our first game of U.S. Quidditch Cup 11.
And for the first time in the game, Bosnia has put out, in my opinion, their scariest beater line. This is Kyle Gion coming on the field with Mario Nasta.
And Kyle Gion, one of those interesting players in all of in Bosnian history. He has come a long way. He's actually one of the guys who sparked the existence of the Bosnian Bearsharks, reached out to a couple of other players who were on QC Boston, who at one point were national champions a couple of years ago. Namaste with a block on a beat and a shot, forcing a shot up front, an early shot from number 2 for the LA Gambits and a miss. That's Michael Richardson who comes up with it, and they're going, wait a minute, there's a contest of the goal. They're going to say the goal is good, so to make it 80-50. Hold on a second.
I still think we're
yeah, there's a discussion.
No good.
Goal is no good, so the score remains 80-40. And from our angle, Harry, he took that shot and it hooked to the right of the center hoop. So from behind, it would look like it slipped through there, but up front from this angle, it looked like it hooked to the right. And once again, that comes from Namaste blocking that bludger on the far right-hand side, forcing that throw early, and letting the wind be able to go out there and affect it. The elements being a huge problem here.
Yeah, it is very windy today.
Mention what the LA Gambits have done this season. Averaging 140 points per game, Harry. Pretty impressive for a team.
Yeah, they are a team that racks up points on the back of Tony and Graham.
And now pressure up front, beater exchange, and David Fox comes up with a goal that is going to be called no good. He gets down on the turf, comes up with the recovery, and they're going to call a turnover to the LA Gambits. And actually, it's not to the keeper, so they're going to be able to fight for this ball. And now they're going to drag him out of the keeper zone, then draw the beat. So the LA Gambits are going to maintain control. Michael Richardson, the guy who we just saw miss that shot earlier, coming up with a good defensive stance, although, you know, sometimes all it takes is that turtle position, very common in Quidditch when it comes to taking possession.
Yeah, and this is beat on Gian.
And a time check here, 14:30 is the time check currently. Gian gets beat on the calf, and now Tony Rodriguez will not be beat. Fox is going to take that beat on the calf. T-Rod gets away from him. He gets beat in the head. Namaste with the range out there. And now a run from the Bosnian Bearsharks and a goal on the way.
Carly Haggerty puts it through, bringing this up. 50 for Bosnia? I want to say it's 90-40.
Yeah, 90-40 and flipped on its head. Tony Rodriguez holding on to the ball for just a little bit too long. Namaste teeing him up and knocking him down. Tony Rodriguez getting in sinister. Alyssa Burton will now enter the field of play for the LA Gambits, a new sub into the game.
Looks like Gambit's going to sub out of double male beater back into a standard set. Figured they can't beat him, so may as well play the mismatch. And
the top chaser for the LA Gambits for the male side, Shane Bouchard, is going to enter the field of play. He's out there as well behind the hoops, trying to work away from one of the Bosnian Bearsharks. And guess what? A chaser left wide open on the far hoop there, and that's going to be 90-50. And bludger control now lies with the Gambits. So a perfect turn of events for the Gambits on that last possession.
Yeah, that was some great beating coming out of Alyssa Burton. At one point, Bosnian controlled 0 bludgers there.
Right.
Gambits could have had all 3. And this could be the turnaround they need. They're down. Snitch is coming on the pitch soon. Let's see what they can do. They need to stop here bad.
The Bosnyan Bearsharks, a team last year. As there's definitely a need for a defensive stop. We've seen LA Gambits come up with pretty good ones, especially in close range. Teddy Costa throws one behind the hoops. Somebody trying to run it down, and the beaters are going to go clean that one up, preventing anybody from touching it. And guess what? They maintain bludger control. No bludgers exchange. Eric Dredgers, the starting seeker for the LA Gambits, now reporting over here on the left-hand side. You'll see him come out there in just a second. Michael Lee is going to sub back in for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, and Teddy Costa is going to rotate backwards to get on Bouchard, and a man-to-man zone behind. Defensively, a miss on the beat up front. It's going to force pressure, and Gambits are going to turn that pressure into a goal here in a second. They will, behind the hoops. Two Bosnyan Bearsharks diving to each other as Costa knocks down another hoop. That goal looked like it was good before the hoop was dislodged.
Yeah. Interesting, in case you missed it, Bosnyan, the second they lost bludger control, switches out of their double male set back into a standard set.
Right.
Not trying to go anything crazy. When you don't have bludger control, it's a risky move.
And on top of that, now that they've switched back into that standard set, they've maintained bludger control a lot better. There's a yellow card. Costa, they're going to say Trudeau slid in. It looked like Costa slid in to try and dive on a loose quaffle there for a second, which is interesting.
Trudeau getting this card could be big. He is their best quaffle player.
And the quaffle will be right behind the hoops here. There is a beater on the far left-hand side. See if he can make that throw, or if he just elects to hold on to the ball. Tyler Trudeau going to be subbed out at keeper, and he'll be back in just a second as soon as that goal is scored, and it is. And a nice attempt, a strip attempt on Broussard from Michael Lee. He's going to go back into the keeper zone, and Trudeau is going to have to be out there at the keeper position. Emerson grad, like you mentioned.
So the game is now 90-60.
90-60, which means it is within snitch range for those of you listening at home. So things just got a lot more interesting here. After at one point, Bosnian being up by 5 goals. And we got a whistle being blown here, and a goal ref is going to come from behind the hoops, have a conversation. Talking about the Bosnyan Bearsharks last year, Harry. An amazing run from them all the way to the Final Four in their first year of existence.
Even after dropping a pool play game to Cal.
Yes.
They had a rough bracket because of that.
And Cal, the champions of the College West region this season.
Yeah, and let's see. Tyler is still on the field, a chaser now, though the headband doesn't matter too much on offense.
The Bosnyan Bearsharks technically the higher seed going into this matchup. They're the 3 seed out of Pool A, by the way. This is Pool A U.S. Quidditch Cup match here as Eric Dredgers is getting some stretches on right in front of the seeker zone, as they've already reported, and Pagoda just waiting around for his opportunity to enter the field. Costa's got a beater up front. He's going to get beat, and now Bosnia is going to throw it back, and a miscommunication. Costa looked like he was on his broom there for a second, and he was not.
Costa's overshadowed as one of the 2 RPI pickups by his good friend Mario Nasta, but he's still a formidable pickup on his own, and seekers are on the field.
RPI, Dark Marks, great college team as well. The mid hoop for the Bosnyan Bearsharks is down. Hopefully, somebody is going to go out there and fix it, because that's 2 of the 3 opportunities that the Gambits have, and they're going to let a Gambits player fix it. And hold on a second, we might have a catch. There's no whistle being blown, but the goal is going to be scored by the LA Gambits. The snitch on pitch play is in full effect as Trudeau is going to have to retreat backwards towards the keeper zone. And it looks like Dredgers is in a win-all situation. The Gambits are now down by just 20.
And it looks like the Seekers did not notice gameplay was stopped. It looked like that goal was called off, and Bosnian Seeker was giving it back to Hoops. We don't know the reason, but
they're going to call 1 as Bouchard's about to come back out. Michael Lee ready to chop it up here as he's trying to work his way through the defense. Bouchard coming around the perimeter. Costa left wide open on the left-hand side of the hoops. Finishes there, and it keeps the Bosnian lead up front as Pagoda almost had a hand. He had a hand on that left that left quad of the snitch there for a second. Almost got it up high enough to come up with a snitch grab. And let's see if Dredgers can come up with one, as Master is going to get Pagoda plenty of alone time with the snitch here, which could seal this victory for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, as LA Gambits are moving pretty slowly for a team that's currently down. Costa tries to strip the ball, and now Tony Rodriguez comes with the contact from behind. Michael Lee's going to be sent back to Hoops for the contact behind. A spin from Tony Rodriguez, attempted fake pass. Costa's going to get the arm grab, forcing the back pass behind the Hoops, and Grant Rose is going to score that one on a dunk.
Yeah, and Gambits clawed their way back into this game, but all bludgers are on the snitch right now, and Bosnyan has bludger control, and that's what really matters right now.
Yes, and they will be taking advantage of it, slowing it down. You would like to imagine as Dreggers is not getting any help from the beaters up front. He's been beat 3 consecutive times without even having an attempt to grab at the hoops. Costa lost his hoop. He just took a shot from behind the mid-hoop, and somebody just, wow, that was a pretty dangerous slide from behind the hoops there for a second. And, oh, here we go, Harry. It is time for a good old-fashioned chaser scrum. David Fox is going to be sent over to play a little seeker.
David Fox is an intimidating seeker to go up against.
A lot of strength and a lot of height.
A lot of strength, a lot of height.
We got a reach in on the LA Gambits here, and they're going to say it was a shove in the back. Michael Richardson is going to come to the penalty box for the LA Gambits. They're going to be down a man, and it looks like the Bosnyan Bearsharks score that one as they've got their their third-tier keeper into the game right now. As there's going to be a return of the quaffle with Tony Rodriguez as he's coming up the pitch here. At one point, the LA Gambits were the #1 team in the country. January 23rd, for the first time in Gambits history, they were #1, and a takedown from Tyler Trudeau and a gang tackle on Tony Rodriguez. He slips the ball out rugby style behind him, and Grant Rose retreats back until Tony Rodriguez can get back on his feet, and the offense is at full force. And now on the attack, David Fox looks like he just got a pull.
But
oh, there's going to be beat before.
Gambits have bludger control with Steve DiCarlo and Sarah Kneeling on the field, although they may have just lost it as I say it.
Yeah, and the Master handed the ball over. Very nice of him to do that. Sarah Kneeling is going to run back to the hoops, tap back into this one, and now Dillman is going to get a chance for a one-on-one beater exchange up front to give Fox some time alone. A rotation, Fox on the attack, and he's almost got it. He had the offhand over here on the left-hand side as there's a goal scored by the LA Gambits.
Despite all this craziness, it looks like Gambits still have bludger control. It looks like, I think Margot is on the snitch.
And Dillman is going to run down a bludger that's over here on the Gambit side of the pitch here. It's a little rough exchange. The seeker working good on that hand fight up front. Fox is right behind him, but there's a bludger preventing Fox from approaching. He's going to wait for the exchange up top. That was a nice beat on Dreggers from far away. Nice angle. Even though the wind is blowing, still good aim as Mass is going to sub out, and the Bosnyan Bearsharks respond with a score of their own to maintain that I believe it's a 2-goal lead at this point.
Yeah, now we have Gian runs in, grabs bludger control. Gian and Leanne on the field, beating Margot. Gambit's making some beater subs. I don't know where their bludger. Oh, Steve has it around midfield. Facing up against Gian. Gian with the block.
And it looks like Gian is going to go hang out by the snitch. And guess what? The Gambits are going to have a shot at this one. They're going to have to go for it. Yeah, Gian was waiting for that bludger to be picked up behind, and he actually just slid for it in front of an opposing beater. And there's a scrum over in front of the small hoop, and they're going to call a hook on Tony Rodriguez, and he is livid right now. Or they're going to call Tyler Trudeau for getting over his back because T-Rod just got up, and Trudeau was on his back.
If this is a card on Tyler Trudeau, this would be, if this is a yellow,
yeah,
this would be a red.
Yeah. Tyler Trudeau, 1 card away. He's actually just going to lay down on the ground there for a second.
No, it's
on Teddy Costa.
Teddy Costa.
Which is actually a positive situation for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, believe it or not, because Trudeau racking up a red here would eliminate him from this game. And then, of course, the discretion of the tournament committee to decide whether or not he's eliminated completely from the competition, which it probably wouldn't be. Yeah, it would just be 2 separate cards. But there is a score by the LA Gambits taking advantage of the downed Bosnyan Bearsharks offense as Trudeau is back in on offense. There's a snitch grab up top trying to go over the top here, and it looks like Pagoda's back in, the starting seeker for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, and a turnover for the Bosnyan Bearsharks up front. They'll get T-Rod down. He's going to get beat in the face, and Trudeau's going to slip that ball out. It looked like maybe there was an over-the-shoulder contact, which would have been really rough because it looked like Trudeau had that tackle.
So, knowing Ricky and the look on his face, we may be seeing a red card for Tyler Trudeau, which would be devastating to this Bosnian offense. Tyler Trudeau is one of the most impressive quaffle players in a no-bludger situation.
And like you said, Harry, Tyler Trudeau out of this game. First red card of the game. First red card of the day.
First red card of the day. And man, if this game goes long, I might give the edge to the Gambits. Yeah, they're down 50, but.
And now it looks like they're going to have to make some kind of They're going to have to make some kind of rotation. They've already got their backup keeper into the game, So you have to wonder when the card has expired. By the way, it's 2 minutes, completely uncontested. It doesn't matter how many times the Gambits score, the 2 minutes has to elapse before they can sub in a player to replace it. Now a score, a near snitch grab by the LA Gambits. They're trying to get back into this one. Another dive from Dreggers, and the Bosnyan Bearsharks with a chance to get a stop here. Mastis back into the game, and now you're going to start clocking some major minutes for your starters. Down a starting keeper, and it looks like, a near grab from Dreggers again, as you can hear the crowd oohing and ahhing on the far side of the pitch. A drive on a tackle, nice action up front, and it looks like the Gambits are going to they're going to tell Grant Rose to go back to the hoops. He tried to gang tackle up front, and a throw from to Haggerty, and now Gambits are going to force the possession of the quaffle all the way into the backcourt. And as a matter of fact, I believe that's the first reset for the Bosnyan Bearsharks. They retreat behind the half pitch mark again. It'll be an instant turnover. A throw up front and a tackle up front as well. Looks like Richardson trying to get a nice tackle on the far right side. Gets a throw behind the hoops, but not completely caught. Grant Rose extends his hands out, and a switch of possession of the quaffle. A nice shot, but a miss. And now on the far right-hand side, that one's missed, and the ball's going to roll off. It's going to be a hard boundary turnover here in a second if it blows far enough.
So one of the impressive things about Bosnia is this seeker line is, I think, throwing their 5th different look of the game, as we have Teddy Costa taking his yellow headband on.
As it looks, oh man, Teddy Costa just got a snitch pull. Is it clean? He just ran off like it was. That would be a win for the Bosnyan Bearsharks, and quite the battle for game 1 of U.S. Quidditch Cup 11.
Well, we said it was going to be a match to see of the day, Ashton, and I think this game delivered.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And it is clean. The Bosnyan Bearsharks get a win over the LA Gambits, and Teddy Costa celebrates with his teammates.
We'll get you the official score in just a second.
Yeah, this matchup, by the way, like we said, the Bosnyan Bearsharks, the 3 seed, so they're in the top half of their pool. They get their first win of the day, and one step closer to winning their pool. The top 3 teams out of the teams of the pools of 6 advance on to the bracket play. Final score we got here.
Final score of this game is going to be 150 with the pole, Bosnyan Bearsharks, to 110 for the LA Gambits.
And like we said, that is one potent game that we just saw. Some of the most talented players in all of Quidditch duking it out there. And what'd you say, Harry? For what you expect out of the LA Gambits, they performed very well, especially considering they keyed in on Tony Rodriguez very well, and they still came up with some results.
Yeah, if my prediction for this game is that Bosnyan would take it, and I think Gambits held on very admirably. I knew Grant Rose was good, but he had a game this game.
Tyler Trudeau gets his first red card of the tournament. The LA Gambits take their first loss of the tournament. The Lake Erie Elite are now walking onto the pitches. They'll be next up here on U.S. Quidditch Cup 11 coverage. Final score one more time, the Bosnyan Bearsharks 150 over the LA Gambits to 110. And the LA Gambits look a little frustrated as they walk back to their bleacher area. Harry Clark has got to go. He's got some games to play, as Rochester United has got some wins to grab today. Thanks for joining me here today, Harry.
Thank you.